Sorry, wrong one.
So much said, I'm in too deep. Waters I tread can't catch my breath. A shadow chasing me, a game of hide and seek. Found they'll have a peak.
All right, there we go. That was better. I forgot to set up the right intro from the last show, so that's my bad. Sorry about that there, folks. We are here live with our new friend, Mr. John. Now, how do you pronounce your last name? Is it
Varghese? It's an offshoot of George. I'll tell you later. But
okay.
It's George. It's George.
Well, welcome to the show, John.
Thank you, guys. Great to be here. Yeah, I like I said, you guys do great things, bring these stories.
Well, thank you. I appreciate that.
Yeah, glad to be part of it.
Yeah, you initially emailed me and said that I stumbled on your algorithm somehow, and then you started checking out some of the stuff, and you liked it. And you told me also that you have got quite the story to tell today. So basically, this is just an organic conversation. We probably will interrupt you at times going, we need some, clear, something explained or whatever. Usually it's him. Yeah. So basically what we do is we get you to tell your story and also all the things that you're involved with today in the world of secularism and stuff like that. And we'll go from there. So take it away, sir.
Yeah, so like I said, John Varghese. Varghese is actually, you know how George goes in some places it's George. I don't know if you Jorge, George. So that when it came down to where I come from, the George, the gay sound came off, and Jorge became, and then that became Varghese. So it's so it's basically John George. I don't know if that doesn't count, but John Varghese. Yeah. So but I was just saying, in last fall, YouTube brought me to you as a Canadian atheist, and I think at that time I was looking up Dan Barker. I really admire his soft way of communicating, and
he's a great guy too.
I'm sure he is. I've seen him across debate all these a-holes, but he never loses his calm and his composure. Yeah, and I admire him. So his video on his interview with you was one of the things that brought me to your feed. And you do great stuff. Look at the names you bring in: Aaron Ra.
Aaron and I are very good friends, actually. So.
I hear that, yeah. And then the recent crop of amazing communicators, Forrest Balkai, Erica from
Guts It Given.
Yeah. They bring these content, and I'm a voracious consumer of their content. Yeah, so like I mentioned, it's the algorithm that really brought me. And if anything, I feel like a brown shoe in a room full of tuxedos. Seriously.
No, man, you're one of us. All right. First of all,
sure.
You and I are both Canadians, so we're already brothers in codes of arms right there. So
you go, Canadian.
I am in southern Canada, Chicago. It is the central south city of Canada, the big one. We're just south of Alberta, and we're not crazy.
Is the rhetoric swinging now? Are we going the other way from the 51st state to?
I've been trying to become a province for years, but no one listens to me. Apparently, I even threw Wisconsin in on the deal.
John, I'll be honest, I have heard the whole Cascadia thing being thrown around again, which is like BC, Alberta, Washington, Oregon, California all becoming one big
Northern
country.
California.
I read that, and especially with the oil richness of that part, I think that's one of the drivers. A lot of this is economics, and I can
Yeah.
sense that through all the rhetoric that comes through. It's when politicians feel that they are given the raw end of a federal program, they want to secede, which is crazy. But anyway,
I
Well,
agree. Let's just stay
California
Canada.
California pays a lot of money, so I'd be
They do.
bitching too.
Okay, so
yeah,
take us.
my story isn't. It will be more of a novelty factor, something that you can, a new perspective that you can peg on your achieved. Talk to
New bingo
this
square?
guy from this, yeah,
New bingo
yeah.
square? No way.
I don't know, but it's a value of your premise too. That it's all these trajectories, all these different angles that people bring in, but ultimately it's that one common outcome that really brings it all into perspective, and that's freedom, right? Every story is a jailbreak story. Seriously,
Yeah.
it's getting out of prison, and it's for me. Most of us we're born into prison. I feel right? Most of us are
Yep.
born into. Who very rarely do any of us have the luxury of existing outside a religious bubble or an
Right.
upbringing. So
Yeah, very few of us get that.
yeah, lucky. But those who do, it's just like getting out of prison, and it's if you're born into it, you literally think that that's the world, that is everything.
Mhm.
It's like Plato's cave. It's that,
Exactly.
yeah. So you have images or shadows of artifacts that's against the light, right? And then the prisoners are brought to see the light, and they can't see that light either. Like just the fire of that casting the shadow, much less seeing the real world that makes those artifacts, the shadows that making it, and going out into the open sun. So it's not an easy thing. So if you force somebody, or they get out of that prison, there's still this huge real world sitting out there. Getting out of religion is just that first step. It's what you do after that seriously counts, and that's where,
Mhm.
Neil, what you said, what I do right now is what really makes, as a humanist, that's what
Mhm.
makes me feel that I'm using that freedom for something that is good.
For
So
sure.
it's like, who's that? Steven Weinberg. He said, with or without religion, good people can behave well. Good, bad people may do evil. But
Yeah.
for good people to do evil, it takes religion.
Yeah.
Right. Take well-intentioned, well-meaning people. If you want them to do some truly barbaric stuff,
That's it.
just add 2 drops of religion and call me in the morning, and they will be burning their teenagers as soon as they get to the new continent. It's like, what is this? Religious
Yeah.
freedom turned into burning people? This is what happened when they're left on their own, left to their own devices.
Bring the Yahweh sword out, and
Yeah.
Leviticus this, and yeah. Anyway.
It's a lightsaber,
Yep.
but it's a cross.
So
Yeah,
I kind of
so-
want to know right now, before you go carry on, which brand of religion did you emerge from?
So I was born into it's called a Jacobite Syrian Orthodox Church.
Okay.
Jacobite. Okay, so the Jacobite Syrian Orthodox Church is it's a super old form of Christianity, and that it's traced back all the way to Antioch. In
Wow.
the Levant, where Syria, modern day Syria, Jordan, Lebanon, Palestine, Israel, just east of the Mediterranean Sea.
Mhm.
So Jews from that area had trade routes to the Indian subcontinent. It wasn't India
Mhm.
back then. It was just a bunch of kings and emperors ruling different parts, and it kept moving. So they established trade routes there down south. So there was a Jewish contingent or a settlement there down in India, and it was around the 50 CE.
I came from Judaism, so it doesn't surprise me that we were everywhere back then. So.
And it wasn't just the Jews. There were the Arabs, there were the Chinese. Everybody. The Silk Route really opened up a whole bunch of trade, and it also brought this new wave of ruling over, dividing the world into pieces of colonies, and then the whole bullshit started with slave trade and colonization and all that jazz. But the trade happened, so it was positive. There's a lot of good things that went back and forth between the Mediterranean and India, spices versus maybe, I don't know, clothes, whatever, swords, maybe, I don't know. But there was so the guys, people from this Jewish from Syria and the region, Levant, traveled into and brought this new brand of Jewish sect, which was Christianity in the 50 CE, just after Jesus, and that's when it's in the whole New Testament and the Bible, the Christianity came in, and that's when in Antioch, which is Syria, is where it's written in Acts, one of the chapters, where Christians were first called Christians. And those are the people that traveled to. So we don't have actual proof in the 50 CE, but we do have actual brass permission slip kind of from kings, allowing Christians to come and establish trade and have land and be a part of the trade culture at that time. So it's like 1600, 1700 years of history weighing down on me if I want to do my deconversion, and it's not easy. So what I'm trying to escape from is this crusty old relic that kind of vaguely resembles religion, but it's not. It's much more ancient, much more deeper.
Right.
I guess it's closer to.
It's capitalism.
Well, I don't know. I was going to say,
the trade route.
It's all money, yeah. And I would say it's deeper than that because it's sunk so deep. It's just above skin color. Seriously, you can't change that. It's so deep that if you try to, it's about heritage, it's about identity, it's about historical continuity. You're no longer wrestling with like doctrine or the abstract. It's much more heavier. It's like so you can escape superstition given by books, but it's harder to escape the social superstructure that makes daily life, like being born, getting married, or dying, or even socializing and just connecting with another human being. It's all under that thing, and it's like Hotel California. You can check out anytime you want. No, you can't leave. Never leave. Never leave.
Having left the black church, I feel you.
There you go. So, and it's deeper than just religion. It's culture, and it's a difficult thing to break out of. And okay, let me set the. I have to tell you where I come from. So I was raised in India for the first 25 years of my life. I moved to Canada around the turn of the century. That was the turn of the millennium. Actually, the most proudest, happiest thing that I ever done, moving to Canada. Seriously. So it was 2000. Between Christmas and New Year's, I landed on the 28th of December here in Toronto Pearson. And I remember it was such a beautiful hot day when I left, December. And I remember because I had this huge jacket.
And then you were attacked by snowmen.
Yes, exactly. So I have this huge jacket, and even carrying it was hot, right? And then I land here, 6-7 inches of snow, and then I realize, oh, this jacket makes sense. So yeah. Remind me to tell you a joke about 10 inches of snow in Jamaica, if we have time. No, seriously, you want me to tell it?
Family friendly.
I was about to say
Yeah.
we will go long. It does not matter. I need to know this joke.
Okay, let me get this straight in my head. So this lady, Canadian lady who's on vacation to Jamaica, of obviously trying to escape the snow, the blizzards, black ice, and all that jazz, right? So, and she's in Jamaica vacationing, and she meets this local guy named Ken, and they hit it off. They spend most of the time together, seeing the sights, experiencing local culture, and so the final day they're together in their hotel room. And she says, "Hey Ken, next time I visit, I might look you up. What's your last name?" And he says, "I can't do the Jamaican accent. I'm sorry.
It's okay.
My friend who told me did, and it sounds so much better. But he says, it's snow. Can it snow?" So, and she smiles this funny smile. And he says, "Why are you smiling?" She says, "My friends are not going to believe it. They're not going to believe that in Jamaica, I had 10 inches of snow every day." Okay. Anyway, sorry.
Okay.
I had to
Back
get that
to our
out.
regularly scheduled program.
Oddly enough, like your accent and like Jamaican patois are not
Seriously?
far off from. They're not
Really?
far off. Like they're like linguistically, they're not so different. Just like the Southern accent and a British accent are not
Yeah.
so different. It's just kind of like a British accent at half speed.
Okay. I get in brains that have an accent, it doesn't. I don't know it. I don't think it
Yeah.
registers with these kind of mildness. But yes, local speakers can definitely get that. Anyway, I'm Canadian of Indian origin. Again, saying that doesn't make any sense. It's like might as well say I'm European. India is so vast, right? So
Huge.
yes, so it's a billion people. There's it's painful to see when we kind of culturally flatten a whole nation to a single entity, right? India is huge. It's seventh largest in just landmass,
Yep.
and what, the top in the population.
Yep.
And
I'm
it's
from the
the most
country of
populated
Africa.
country.
I'm from the country of Africa, so I hear what you're
Country of Africa.
who had that?
all
there's
these
there's
dumbass
so many
Americans.
funny videos
Really?
like
No,
that.
there was, yeah. There's this thing, this whole thing about. Oh yeah, do you watch Who's Line? Drew Carey.
Yeah.
Drew Carey pulled that off. He was
I
reading a
love this
car and it
thing.
says, yeah. Anyway, so yeah, India is thousands of years old in some places and ultra modern in elsewhere. It's got hundreds of languages, thousands of unique cultures, cuisines, art forms. And
It's
but
one of
even
my Aunt Shelley's favorite countries to go visit. She loves India. Yeah.
if you have a local to walk you through, it is amazing because
I want to go
touristy.
so badly.
Let me know. I can hook you up.
Okay,
So-
cool.
Trying to do an
'cause
Asian tour.
Absolutely, go for it. So yeah, but somehow even through all this differentness, there's this shared civic identity that kind of emerges, which is India, and it's very unique. So my lineage is from the south. So India is like a diamond-shaped
Yep.
subcontinent peninsula. I come from the bottom left, so it's west,
So you're saying you're
southwest,
the bottom of the barrel, John? Is that what you're
bottom of the barrel.
Diamond.
But-
He said it was a diamond shape.
But technically, Kerala, even though we are at the bottom, we are the top in terms of education, in terms of
Right.
submitting or bringing in the moolah to the federal coffers. Yeah, we're pretty
Oh,
good.
y'all
in
the
terms of-
taxpayers.
we bring in a lot of stuff. Yeah. So anyway, so India is made of states, 28 of them. They have their own elected government, just like we have. Well, I mean, Canada has provinces. India has states. There's also union territories, so which is federally governed. So my parents were born in Kerala. That's the place. That's a state, one of the states down south. But they up and moved as they got their jobs, both my parents are in the armed forces. My dad was in the army. My mom was in the Air Force. Both are
Oh, wow.
civilians. They didn't have the uniform. They were in the administrative. Um, my dad was a quartermaster. You know what that is? It's just
Mhm.
another British Raj, a relic that means that you take care of the grain
The
and
stores. Yeah.
the stores. Exactly,
Yeah,
exactly.
yeah.
So my dad put food on cadets' tables. My mom, I think she put radio parts together. So that was her. Anyway, so because they moved up, um, they 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 finally settled in this place called Pune, which is a city in a state up middle of the country, middle of the
I work
diamond.
with a guy from there, actually. It works at my
Oh,
location, yeah, from Pune. Yeah.
from Pune, really? Oh, wonderful.
Yeah.
Okay, so Pune is a hotspot for military bases, a whole
Mhm.
bunch of bases the British made over there. So yeah, that's where I landed up, and this move. It's not easy. It's not easy as moving from, let's say, province to province here, because here you'd still have the language that connects you, so it's not that much of a
Yeah.
disruption.
Right.
But over there, every 50 kilometers is, if not a new language, a totally different dialect. Right? It's not an easy thing to do this. So my parents had this culture shock. They did all that, languages, customs, expectations when you meet people. It's all different. So it's disconcerting to those who move there as grown-ups, but for kids, it's kind of we make in we get on the inside. So but then what happens is, because I was not a Maharashtrian, which is the state, I was not I was not a full Maharashtrian. I will go back to Kerala, I'm not a Keralite, because now I'm not there, I'm not here. And then to make things worse, I now am in Canada, so I'm no longer an Indian anymore. So it's it's this in betweenness that kind of, I think, is one of the things that drives you away from being inside a prison, because you know to walk on the borders, you know how to get out. And I think that shaped a lot of who I am. Well, you know what, if you talk about it, I'm not a Canadian either to people who are born and bred, because I don't have ice hockey or basketball in my in my
Oh,
thing.
whatever, man. You're a Canadian,
Yeah,
right?
I know, I
You're a
know. I play
Canadian with Indian
I play cricket, and
heritage.
I saw and play soccer. So
Well, there you go.
that's it.
That's fun.
Yeah. uh but yeah, so because of that, it's you tend to see things, and you're exposed to things that opens up one facet of your thinking that allows you to think that, hey, what I have is not necessarily all there is. There are other things that can open it. So if I go back into my taxonomy of being a human, after gender and race and nationality, I think next would come, I guess, religion, which is another twilight zone that needs to be navigated. There are assumptions as an Indian. Hey, you're an Hindu, aren't you? No.
Right. That's obvious. People will automatically think that probably right off, or a Sikh or something like that.
See, exactly, yeah, yeah. But I don't have the turban. But yes, so then it becomes the Hindu. So, uh, but I've been a Christian. Well, I haven't, but my lineage has been Christian for what, 1700 years now. So it's not even a joke, right? If somebody, uh,
You can't explain that to the West. The West
yeah,
they can't understand what you're saying. They invented it in their
Confuse the
head.
hell out of them.
They invented it, so there's no way that anyone else, especially somebody brown, they can't be in front of us on the Christian line. That's not even.
What's
It's,
that
of course,
cross? Is that Vishnu's cross? What the hell's going on there?
yeah,
that's why it's
yeah.
like, and like I feel for Neil and some of these other people like who do these call-in shows so regularly. I'm like, dude, you can't even argue with this person who's calling himself a Christian. He has no idea what Christianity is. He doesn't
I'm
know
starting to
any
think I don't
history.
want to argue with people that should have been swallowed anyways. So
It's like you don't even know your religion. So how are you going to tell me I'm wrong about your religion? You have no concept of where it came from, except for your dad. Like
Exactly.
first
And that
day.
speaks to another thing with this whole religion thing, right? If there are so many versions and it's so many different things, then guys, tell me which is right, and if not, then why all this bullshit?
Right.
Anyway, so the Jacobite Syrian Orthodox
Oh.
Church is part of the.
Just
the-
FYI. $2 super chat from Jason Freer, who's one of the board members involved with the Baja group, and would be thrilled to welcome you. I was going to bring that up, Jason, but you just fucking ruined my surprise. But that's okay. Thanks for the $2.
Thanks, Jason.
That's great. Thank you. So so the Jacobite Syrian Orthodox Church is a Oriental Orthodox Church. So Coptic, Armenian, Ethiopian, they diverged in what was it? So the Nicaea Council got
Yep.
Christianity going. In 450 or 451 was the Chalcedon Council, and that's where the West and the Oriental churches moved away. The Oriental, I don't know what bullshit it was. I think it was something about Miaphysite and Diaphysite. I don't know. You know what that means? It's a nature of Jesus. It's Jesus being of one nature versus two natures of
Okay.
So there's a one thing which said that Jesus was entirely divine and entirely human. Yes, all this is, but one said no, there was part of him. Yeah,
his corporeal nature. Like, was he like an angel or was he like a human in form?
so when he was human, he was entirely God. Or sorry, he was entirely human. But when he after raising up, he was entirely God.
Allegedly.
Some bullshit. Yeah, exactly. So
Didn't happen.
That's where my church moved away from the rest of the church, and then the rest of the church continued until what was it? I think 1054. That's when another set of churches moved away from the Catholic Church, which was the Eastern Orthodox. So the Oriental churches moved in 450, and around the thousands, that's when the Eastern Orthodox churches, the Greek, Russian Orthodox,
and I love that you brought that up, because when I tell people, like, there's Christians in Afghanistan that have been there for like hundreds of years, I'm like, no, they wouldn't. That's it. I'm like, what?
I think that's
Did
one
you
of the.
read the Bible? Like, what are you talking about?
It's a Western corner styling. We're all in it. We don't see past our own solipsistic world where we can't. We don't recognize anything that's not within a Western culture, Western education systems, Western cultural systems, economic systems, trade systems. So anything outside, Anyway,
if it was before the last 60 years, they have no idea what the fuck they have no idea what that's about.
And 60 kilometers away from maybe US, not just time.
If I can't see
your neighborhood, it's like,
if I can't see it from my porch,
Exactly.
it doesn't exist.
That's it. Anyway, so Jacobite. Let me break down Jacobite, Syrian Orthodox. Those three words. So Jacobite is a guy. There was a guy named Jacob Burdana, Bardios, or whatever his name thing was, but we call him Burdana. And Jacob, this guy, he there was a time when the Byzantine Empire was trying to suppress Christianity after it had formed. It was trying to suppress Christianity and in the Levant. And what he did was he kind of, I think, made friends with the queen. I don't know what making friends with the queen is, but yeah, sure. And he kind of set it up such that, okay, it kind of revived again. So Orthodox Christianity kind of revived around that 5th, 6th century. And that's when that thing became Jacobite sect of the Oriental Church, and then of course Syrian Orthodox. Syrian is Syria, of course, because Antioch is in Syria. That's where they are based, the headquarters of the church. And then Orthodox is Orthodox, straight, which means the original, right? That's what it means. So the Jacobite Syrian Orthodox kind of shares most of its beliefs with mainstream Christianity. It's just the regular Jesus is God, He resurrected, that there is Trinity, there is baptism, and all that stuff. But yeah, it differs primarily at that top end where it is all that miaphysite, diaphysite bullshit, which is that divine human thing that happened. Anyway, so yeah, so it's so ancient that it emphasizes that mystery. It wants to keep everybody connected to God through symbolism, through liturgy, sacraments, those kind of things. So the Bible is there. It's but it's kind of secondary to church tradition and prayers and saints liturgy. I'm not saying Bible isn't important, but it's almost on the sidelines, on the bench. It's brought
Not
in
important to me.
when the game gets away, maybe,
Well, because I mean, these versus the evangelicals here in the States or something like that, these people have been doing the same ritual the whole time, whereas these guys get a new translation to their Bible every 15 minutes. They get a new download, they get patch updates, and then they just completely change their theology. And it's just like, you guys are just getting further away from what you keep claiming to be. Like, it's just a pale comparison.
I kind of want to call it the New Delhi Testament.
Sure.
So I looked up the
it just popped into my head, It's a moronic white guy.
Yeah,
Miaphysite and diaphysite.
So it's saying here, like, a 5th century Christological doctrine asserting that Jesus Christ had only one divine nature rather than two distinct human and divine natures, as humanity was absorbed by his divinity. So it's like, man, that's what y'all are arguing over? Damn, y'all are deep in the weeds.
I'm sure which underwear Jesus wore can also become a huge theological paper, a PhD on
I heard
underwear.
they were underoos myself.
Well, he said he was a carpenter. Did he use a 4-pound or a 5-pound hand sledge? I mean, how can I show up here every week?
You go set your church up 5 kilometers that way. I'm gonna set up over here. You go your 4-pound hammer. I'm gonna go my 3-pound hammer.
They're going to hell down the street, just so y'all know. Talk about 5-pound sledge.
With their hammers and the sledge.
5 pounds to hell. Wow. But again, these people have no idea what their religion is. Meanwhile, across the globe, these people are not only the originators or some of the originators, but like the original ritual keepers and haven't stopped doing it this whole time.
And you know what? It's ancient. It's poetic. It's full of, incense, chants.
Right.
It's so rich. If you walk in, it's the choir that sings those 2 or 3 note chants. It's beautiful. It sounds so good, and I think that sustains itself. So yeah, absolutely, the church looks down upon any kind of changes. So yes, what began will continue because it is set in stone. You can't deviate, and that's the whole central heart of worship is the divine liturgy, and you can't get past it. You can't get anywhere close to it. It's like it. This church, the Christianity, it's kind of like vaguely Semitic, like Jewish. I'm sure even the Jewish chants sound similar, but culturally it behaves as if it's Hindu. And it's not a colonial invention. Seriously, Mikey, you were absolutely right. It's not something that was imposed, maybe not even an evangelical imposition. Definitely not a military victory. It wasn't was long before anything, before Europeans arrived with Bibles and guns and this fucking sense of moral urgency, right? Christianity was already there, and I don't know if it was, literally the saints that supposedly brought it in was Saint Thomas, the doubting Thomas guy.
Mhm.
Yeah.
I want to touch the wound guy. He was the one in 52, apparently in 52 CE, that brought Christianity to India, to the south of India, Kerala. We don't have proof for that, but it's
Right.
legend, and of
That's
course
what
it's a yeah, it's some
So you're
great.
all like blasphemers then? Is that what you're saying?
But are they the
But no, but
blasphemers?
he
They were
believed.
there first. Like,
But he believed, right? And that was the biggest conversion thing. Oh, I was an atheist, and then I read something and I became a theist. You see that normal pull that the people pull everywhere, right?
yeah.
When they want to convince somebody. But anyway, so we don't know whether it was in 52, but definitely around the 300, 350, 400 CE, there are actual proof on brass plates that tells that the king of that time was allowing these Christians to come in and do trade. So there is proof for that.
Well, you've given us a lovely history lesson, but we should not interrogate you
Yes.
about things. Tell us about you and how you got out, and how
Okay.
deep in were you?
So this kind of speaks to where I am, because my grandma, she didn't call the Bible the Bible, even in our language. Well, of course, they could have called it Bible, but they didn't. The Bible was actually, it's called Veda Pustakam. Veda Pustakam, it means Vedas are the Hindu scripture, right?
Mhm.
Right.
And Pustakam is a book. So literally, it's not even a transliteration. They just said, we're going to take your Vedas, and call my Bible the Vedas, and that's it. That's the thing I'm going to do. So it's so deep as a cultural that for me, that's what it meant. I grew up in this church. The church I went to, both here in India and over here, was hugely same incense, bells, candles, Syriac language, because of the history and continuity. Syriac language, like Kyrie eleison, it means Lord have mercy. Barak more, which is bless me, O Lord. Those kind of things. So these are, and then all these saints, and so what that means is much of this came down into Hindu philosophy and got in just as if it is another part of India. So the simple parts of religion, the fundamentalist aspects, I must have lost very early in my life with all this silly Bible-related stuff. Right? I was maybe 10 or 11, and of course I was armed with the knowledge of the birds and the bees, and then I realized that, okay, fine, Adam had Eve. Who did Cain and Abel have?
That's what I've been saying. I just looked over at Eve again. It's like, oh, gross.
I know.
Oh, gross.
Right.
Well, Cain, after killing Abel, was sent out from the garden, right? To
exactly
where other people were.
I don't know. Was that mentioned?
Yeah.
The other.
So where did they come from?
Right, their creation, that chapter got left out, or it got wet.
Some other god must have created them.
It got stuck together with something else, and then they just had to throw it out or something. But yeah, they only got one group of humans being made, but then he leaves to go have sex with the other humans, which aren't made yet. So
I was 10 when I asked that question, and all I got for my effort was
slap
smack in the back of my head and said, "Shut up!" And that look, right? That
I had a similar experience with me.
Okay.
Well. Yeah.
Same.
Questioning, like, well, how the hell did they get what? That's not possible. Get out and stand in the hallway and think about what you said. What?
Oh, what about the whales on the boat? Okay.
Nope. No, they had dinosaurs in there.
Let's put the T-Rex next to all the
According
sheep.
to Ken Ham, they did, anyways.
Yeah. Anyway, so and also this thing, when I was growing up, I remember the hardening of the heart of the Pharaoh. That was a big thing. Have you thought about it? Like this
Oh
God
yeah, yeah,
hardens the heart of the Pharaoh and then punishes him for it.
right.
Ha-
Yeah,
and that was a big thing in my head. It stuck, and I asked my priest at that time. I asked my older brother. They didn't have answers. Yeah, you know what? Yeah, that's the no. He hardened it, but he had to make his choice of being hard with it. The-
what?
Poor Job.
What the fuck?
Job too, right?
Job
Right?
couldn't do nothing right. Just arms falling off. All his friends hate him. Stepping in camel shit every other step. It's just like, damn, man, what did I do?
Anyway, even without all
Where are all
those,
these camels coming from? Either?
We sold the last camel. What the fuck?
yeah,
Sorry, carry on.
even without this doctrinal bullshit, I was just comparing how much kinder my parents were. Right? My parents were Indian parents, super strict.
Yeah.
They don't spare the king. But one thing I know, they loved us to bits. They sacrificed up for us. They took away huge parts of their life so that we could get better. They cared for us, you know. But my my mom worked, and when she had these little get-togethers and potluck things, and she didn't eat those things. She used to literally bring those home, you know.
Oh,
And exactly,
for
right?
her boys.
These were my parents, and I compare that to this God who literally has built hell to torment us for something that you don't believe in, something that you might not believe in. What if you're born in another geographical place, you're going
Right.
there? How can that happen? So yeah, so this is exactly you who said it was Hitchens who said created sick and commanded to be sound.
Right.
Mhm.
Right. So yeah, how does that work? What's this violence and
I'll put
Janus?
the tree of knowledge right in front of them. And tell them don't eat it or you'll die. Like, put that shit on an island they can't swim to. How easy is this?
I can do mafia style love. No, love me, and I'll love you back.
Right.
Ignore me, and I will f you up.
Right. And then I'm putting my rings back on and I'm taking the
Yeah.
gloves off.
I'm ready.
Okay.
I'm ready. Come at me.
Yeah, but the thing is, at that age, I didn't dig my claws into those arguments, right? Those are concepts. I felt they're too deep for me, and there are experts who think about it. I'm not going to seminary to study. I'm not going to be
Somebody's on it. Somebody must be working on that. You'll get to it. Yeah.
Exactly. I'm not making my life my career out of that. So
Right.
I remained a cultural Christian. I didn't have the right language or the knowledge, the grounding that allows me to run with terms like, skepticism, rationality, empiricism, deconversion, whatever. To all these terms that didn't exist for me back then. So I just continued being what I just thought religion was just another thing that you learn at school, just another
Mhm.
subject, like geography, like
Right.
Yeah.
they were coming from authority figures, and I deferred to the authority. Continue.
Yeah, I kind of was the same way about it. It's like, oh, this is just something else to study, right?
I think that's a story with a lot of us, right? We were good kids. I mean, at least I was. I wanted to make my parents
Well,
happy.
Neil's another story. But then on top of it, like especially with your belief system, there's so much like literal history like to go along with the rituals and the traditions. It makes it all the more believable when it's like, look, we have over 1,000 years of us lighting incense in this exact way. Look at all this record of us doing it. You think all these people were wrong for 1,000 years? It's like, well, I guess not.
And I don't even have to do the at a cerebral level for that. It is just I was just so deep into it.
Right.
You can't even think outside of that. That's what it is. Anyway, by the time I moved here. I still continued. I didn't believe in religion, but I still went to church. I don't know if if you can understand that dissonance. It's
I went to synagogue, so I get it.
okay. And I remained. I continued to believe in this kind of deistic, love-only, benevolent God. I ignored everything else. So
Mhm.
I'm not a. I'm okay with being having a good God. I know a God lover, but not one of those jealous, angry, petty, misogynistic. What
Vengeance.
was Richard Dawkins' thing? The
Something that
whole
someone that's omnipotent shouldn't be.
shouldn't be. Yeah, so the God of the Old Testament thing that Dawkins, I couldn't be with that. So yeah, God is good. I like good, so I liked God. So that's a
Right.
logic that it's literally ignorance by choice. Uh, and
Yeah.
then I was a born organizer. I love creating memories for whether it's my family, whether it was church. I was organizing fundraisers, picnics, trips, all the practicalities. I never did need religion for 99% of what I did. Even when I was
Daddy.
studying, going to college, learning things, didn't need God. So it didn't jar with what I believed in. So my break from religion wasn't dramatic. It was slow clearing out of old cobwebs in my head. Some of them
Mhm.
fell apart on its own.
Yeah.
Others I don't. I noticed. Hey, wait, what is this? I don't need it. So the tricky ones were the ones that is wrapped inside beliefs, right? My blessing that my grandma gives me, which is actual Bible verses. So when she blesses me, she says these things. So how do I remove that love out of that scripture? I can't. But those are the tricky ones. People who the beautiful hymns. Oh, the music is beautiful.
I started
How can
listening
you
to some.
separate? Sorry.
I started listening to somewhere and you said that. I was just like, type in chants from which one was it? Was it
Yeah, there
Saint
was this.
Proteus, a prophet, Isaias and the bloody birth of the Coptic Church? It
You,
says
you,
from Synaxarian. Where was it? But look up Monophysite chants.
Miaphysite. Yeah. Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Is that the same thing or is that different? Am I the wrong
It would.
religion?
No, not that one.
Okay.
Definitely not. That. So if you type in Syriac liturgy, you might find something. Syriac, Malankara. Malankara is Kerala,
Oh, here we go. Here
and
we
then
go.
you'll hear this beautiful songs and then of course what about the kindnesses that people gave to religious charity, right? They genuinely cared for the people, so they gave. So how do you separate these things? It's not an easy thing, and that's why I said I'm still struggling to exit. I've exited the supernatural, but I can't turn my back on the cultural parts of me being a Christian. So it's not an easy thing. But over time, of course, I saw how religion played out in the rest of the world. It's harder and harder against there's a cognitive dissonance that happens, and you have this
Yes.
fairness and compassion and harm reduction that guides
And
our
empathy that they
more
keep trying to
empathy.
get rid of now,
Yeah. And then anything that sanctions or allows exclusivity or condemnation, shame or dehumanization, cruelty. While this is the thing that I kind of it, and then that's when I really started saying that okay, I cannot continue to ignore the devil in the garb of an angel, right? Or that's a bad example, but that's the
I
thing.
get what you mean. Like,
Yeah,
well, people who are outwardly appearing to be so well-meaning and so benevolent, but are really kind of dark at the end of the day, and
absolutely.
treacherous for those who fall for the tricks.
Mm.
Yep, yep. So I argued in my head it wasn't the message of the religion that was a problem. Maybe it was the messenger. So that was my first step. So maybe this is not all fake. Maybe it was the people who are trying to tell us that have corrupted us. So that's the first step of me trying to get away from things like, for example, even Jesus, right? he didn't like the Pharisees, so maybe Jesus was this thing that was trying to get us away from organized religion. So that was the first step that you allow yourself to take. But then here's the quiet pivot that follows that kind of thinking, right? If you grant yourself permission to distrust authorities or interpreters, then you've smuggled this dangerous idea that the moral judgment is sitting outside of this nonsense, outside of the system. So at that point, you're then starting to question what else are they wrong about? What are the standards that I'm using to judge where all this is coming from? So I think that's when, as knowledge accumulated and this dissonance keeps growing, and you start pairing up language of critical thinking, and that's when the deconversion process, I think, started to kick in. Really, then I realized that yes, there is this cultural thing, but that's way deeper than just culture. It's just being a human, right? It's not even just culture. It's just being kind. The golden rule that predates anything, not even culture. Yeah. So this middle part of culture. Rule,
don't be a fucking dick.
That's it. And that's when it fell apart. That's when actually things started making sense. That okay, we're just being a good human. We work well if we come together. So let's just work together is the golden rule that continues. And you don't need all this superstructure that you build of religion and culture and all that stuff. Yes, culture is history. It reminds you of where you come from. But beyond that, if it hijacks things like, human goodness and stamp your logo on it, kindness becomes Christian love. Morality is obedience. Meaning is God's plan. That's when things,
go squirrely.
That's when I started to unravel. That's when so my thing was, when I began, it was like it wasn't what if God isn't real. It is, if I stop being a Christian, will love still matter? Will I still be good? Will that feel meaningful?
Of course you will.
Yeah. So
because that's you. That has nothing to do with the beliefs. It's you.
Yeah. And that's what goes back to us being human.
Yeah.
Right.
Made sense.
And it's unfortunate that, I mean, the music's cool. We'll keep the music, but it's so unfortunate that so much of like the humans' social need for empathy, right, that we have evolved into us, that we should look out for each other because
we wouldn't have communities without it.
I might need that person later, so I should probably make sure the wolves don't eat them. And then for that to just somehow, and like however many thousands of years, turn into, well, if you don't kick your kids out of the house because they're listening to music with bad words in it, I don't know. Yeah. I mean, it's like, how did that turn into that? How did us just like not liking bad things to happen to like our little tribe or whatever turn into, well, let me just control how you think, okay? Just let me control your brain.
It works.
Fuck that.
Sartre has this whole thing about power and religion. But anyway, I had read Daniel Dennett's. So the thing is, I can't nail down a single year when a single part of my life where I fully said I'm an atheist.
Probably a process. So
2010, I had read Breaking the Spell, which is Daniel Dennett's.
Dennett, good book.
Amazing. Religion came into being because
I have it somewhere.
Worked. It's the infancy of human understanding, all those kind of things. But and then I was still Christian even after reading that. I still go and baptize my child, my kids. So it's like it's the cultural pull, the gravity is difficult to escape. 2014, I discover a Canadian author. I don't know if you've heard him, Tom Harper. Have you?
I know who Tom Harper is.
Yeah. He was an Anglican priest who was a columnist for the Toronto Star.
Yes.
And he wrote. Yes, he died. He's died now. He wrote The Pagan Christ, and his thing was that this whole mythology of Christ is something that predates. This whole thing with
the girl I dated had that book. So.
Oh, okay. So
Yeah, she
virgin
was a
birth,
pagan. So
divine son, virgin birth, all these motifs are literally old ones that
oh
express
yeah,
in
from all
different
kinds of
cultures
different
across.
cultures. Yeah.
Right.
It's not
So I
surprising
think,
too the way the human mind works. We're going to have similar ideas across our cultures and ingrain them into our mythologies.
yep. And Tom Harper kind of spoke to that. He even wrote another one called Born Again, and it was those are the two books that kind of led me down, and that was around 2015, 2016. YouTube was or YouTube, actually YouTube found me, I guess. And I was searching for Tom Harper. I found Dennett, Victor Stenger, Dawkins, of course, Hitchens, the Four Horsemen, Sean Carroll.
Yeah, but
Sean
fuck
Carroll
Dawkins
is
now.
that I don't know. Yeah, he's taken a turn. All the four, even Sam Harris, like he's also taken this turn which I can't reconcile. But you know what? He set me off on the right path in some ways, so I kind of give credit to him. What he does now, that's the thing with us atheists. We don't have icons. We have a process to think. That's pretty much so. If icons come and go, we don't follow that. We think we've got our legs to stand on and run. So yeah, think people like Sean Carroll,
Yeah, he's
Steven
great.
Weinberg,
Big fans
Dan
over
Parker,
here.
Neil deGrasse Tyson. You know, amazing communicators, clear voices.
Bill Nye.
Right?
Bill
Nye.
Yeah.
I have his book. Yeah. So yeah, I think it was around 2016 that I actually stopped. I remember thinking I stopped carrying the carcass of the religion off my shoulders, and I had a job at that time that allowed me to take these breaks, hour-long breaks. And at one time I was listening to Sam Harris's End of Faith, and I overshot my lunch by almost 45 minutes.
Oh no.
Oh shit.
And I came back like as if it was lit up. It was so amazing. And that's when I think I remember such a weight off. Everything was crystallizing. I started seeing how unique I am, and it's such a random thing. Everything can be meaningless, but everything is so meaningful. My love for my love for my kids is burnt into my DNA, but that doesn't mean that my love isn't real. It only that realization of the scientific part of how you're wired to take care of your progeny actually makes it even more amazing when you carry them and you smell them and you lift them, and I think it's that's exactly what I felt. I think it was 2016 when
Love is a
atheism-
chemical reaction, technically.
And it can be triggered because I'm telling you, when I picked up Little Stinky Butt, I was just like, "Oh, it's happening to me. Oh, wait,
Yeah.
I'm in. Oh shit, there it is. There it is. Oh shit, I'm a dad now. Yep,
That's
I
it.
get it. I totally get it now. Just had to smell your own kid.
Yes,
And then
it smells, man. Smells so powerful.
If you
Smell
smell,
is, I think smells the closest to your brain. I think that's why it gets so much more powerful. Seriously.
like as soon as you smell
Why
your kid, you're just
aromatherapy
like,
is popular.
oh, and now I'm a papa bear, and I will eat anything that comes in this den and tries to hurt the baby. It just automatically your nails grow a little bit, your teeth get a little harder, and you're just ready to protect the nest. It's very strange.
Yeah, but even in the reductionist, even in that reductionist way, if you want to break down love to science, it still doesn't go away, right? It's so it still remains a part of you, makes you that human, and I think that's what these religious people hijack. They've hijacked love and honor and you know,
music,
respect, music, all these beautiful things. They think that that's their domain. We can't go in as science.
I kind of beg to differ. They can
yeah. You know, if I'm an atheist only in the presence of a theist. Do you know what that means? It's like I don't have to be an atheist if there's no theist present. I'm a book lover.
You're just you, right?
I'm a tea drinker. I'm a basketball player. Whatever. Right?
Oh, we're gonna be talking basketball here. We're gonna be talking basketball in the afternoon, especially if you're in. No, and you're a Toronto fan.
Yes.
Oh my! See, of course you are, man.
Of course I am.
I'm in Chicago over here.
Canada's basketball team. You got to be, right?
So. Yeah.
Well, Neil had a team until he.
We have a baseball team too, you know.
Yeah.
Expos?
No, we did a.
The
Well,
Expos. Oh, listen to you rubbing it in.
I don't know.
Oh, the Blue Jays.
Oh, Jays, of course. Yeah.
Yeah. You used to have the Expos.
Yes, years and years ago.
And the Grizzlies used to be in Neil's part of town.
Vancouver Grizzlies, which are now in Memphis. Yeah.
Yeah.
Before we cut this off, because we're now at the hour, John, what was your involvement with the Canadian Center for Inquiry?
Right. So once I got out and I'm looking for community. That's the first thing that you do, right? When you lose, well, I stopped going to church.
Lose community, you find new community.
I'm trying to find community, and that's when I looked up and I found that I resonated. I was a human being and a humanist, and I connected with science. So CFIC, Center for Inquiry Canada, was the one organization that spoke about education and science. So that was my first stop. So I became their chair of the communications team for the CFIC. That was 2020, 2021.
Did you know Leslie then?
Yes, Leslie Rosenblood. Yeah, we worked together. He had just finished the whole project on what religion costs in Canada. And that was an amazing project. I hope more people can read it. How billions of dollars are given as tax benefits to these charities that just keep building nothing. And the charities, they don't do any charity other than help themselves and pay themselves.
Right.
Yeah. So CFIC, then I'm part of my local humanist chapter, which is Humanist Association of Toronto, and we have amazing, that's what brings meaning. It's, those of us who manage to escape the pull of gravity, it's the same patterns that sets us apart, which is we want to do something, but to in our communities, but not everybody's wired like you are, Neil, or you are, Mikey, where you can go out and communicate and bring these things to amazing. What you do is amazing, so I really support and laud what you're doing. It's just that I don't have that. I'm not a communicator. So my little conversations wherever I am, when we get together, my kids, when they see me versus my wife, who's still religious, and the difference that they see between how the commonalities are. There's a lot that we share,
of course.
Where we differ is where they can see, and then they become more aware of the world around them. So those are the things that I can do. I leave the big hitting to you guys.
And
I don't know if we're big hitters, but
and I would say we have the privilege that we can stand on the truth that we believe in without our families, disowning us, without
we're fortunate there.
Punishment from work, or what I'm saying, like it's because we're safe enough in our place in this in each one of our societies. I feel like we owe it to everybody to help the people behind us up and out from whatever they're into, because it's not their fault they're there, and we can't get hurt. You know what I mean? We're untouchable.
Accident to birth doesn't make you,
But you don't have to do it. But you don't have to do it, but you still do it. So,
I wanted to.
Props to you. Yeah. Props to you. Yeah.
And then this guy stumbled in, and I was like, I need this guy here too. And then now we're together.
You got a great team, Greg. Seriously, keep doing what you're doing.
Can't get rid of me now. I'm in the carpets.
No, it's just me stepping on the damn table. Well, John, it's been an absolute pleasure getting to meet you virtually, and hopefully, I usually hit the Baja Con every summer.
Oh yeah, I'm coming.
Which is in Sarnia. So it'd be great to see you there and meet you in person, shake your hand, give you a big hug, whatever,
Is it in August?
100%.
It's in August. Yeah.
All right.
Jason Freer, who's part of that whole thing, was in the chat earlier, and as you saw, the $2 super chat, it said you should come down and hang out with us. And
I'm coming.
All right, awesome.
But we do have one last question before we let you get into your own very special after party where everybody can bother you and ask you all the questions that they want to know. And Neil's going to ask that question right now.
So if you could go back in time and talk to younger John, back when you were still in the believer era, what advice would you give yourself?
Yeah, I think I touched upon it. I wish I was not so. I would trust those. I tell him, trust your instincts, man. Just because old people tell you something doesn't mean that they're right. Just because they've been doing it for thousands of years and thousands of people are telling you 2 quadrillion flies eat shit, that doesn't mean they're right.
Yeah.
Right. So yeah, just believe in if you had these doubts, why don't you escape? Why do you have to wait till you're like 40 to escape the pull of gravity of religion? You could have invested all those years of what I spent doing religious stuff into spreading science and being a human and yeah.
For sure. Well, that's the kind of answer we'd like to hear. Because I probably would have done the same thing. I would have told myself to get more involved with the activism back then. So, but I didn't know it was a thing back then. I just was like playing the good little Jew kid. So
yeah, that's the thing. We trust our elders, and well, they were trusting their elders. So it's a freaking regressive cycle going back. So.
Yeah,
negative feedback loop. I didn't even know atheism was a thing. I just assumed you had to believe in something. I didn't know that there was a choice.
Believe in yourself, sir. You can believe in yourself.
And now I will.
All right. Well, once again, John, thanks so much for joining Mikey and me for tonight's episode. It was an absolute pleasure having you on, sir.
Appreciate that. Thank you so much for having me.
Our pleasure. Looking forward to what the future brings. And thanks, everyone, for hanging out. And thanks especially to our members. You guys help make the show possible and better. So with you guys in the chat, it's always a lot of fun. There's a link to the after party in the description box below. John says he will be joining us. I'll send you another link, John. Don't worry. Also, there is a link to Happy Free, which is a website that he's got going. You can check out all the stuff that he's involved with over there. It's a really cool looking site. I was looking at it for a little while earlier today, so definitely get over there and check it out. Until next time, guys, like I always say at the end of the interview part of the show, like the late, great Christopher Hitchens once said, it's called faith because it's not knowledge. And we'll see you guys next time.
Bye.
What's untangled?